Well, good evening, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Happy 4th of July, a day that we celebrate our independence from England, the beginning of our country being separate from England. In which case, we had to fight for our freedom, and some of us had to fight for our freedom for much, much later on, and so on. You realize on a day like today that we have a lot of work still to do, that we still have issues and things that we have to work on. I don't want to get into politics or anything like that, but it's getting crazy that a 4th of July parade ends up being a mass shooting. There's no way to sugarcoat that it's tragic. It's insane. You know, the crazy thing is this. Instead of working out differences or letting bygones be bygones, people think that by getting a gun and shooting people is the answer. It's not the answer. It's creating more problems. Whatever issues this guy had, they're not fixed by him going out and killing 6 people and wounding another 19. Your life, you're fortunate that you still have yours, will be behind bars. And now you got 25 people whose lives will never be the same. 6 of them no longer have their lives. It doesn't, I just don't see where anybody sees that this is a solution to anything. It hurts. It hurts that everybody's got a target on their back now all of a sudden, and it seems to be okay. This is not what we fought for independence for in the 1700s. It's just not. I weep for our country. I'm scared about our future. And you don't understand how being one of the first classes to integrate, as a little kid being called nigger every day, that I never thought that 50 years later that I feel like it's worse now than back then. I never had fears about somebody carrying a gun 50 years ago and having a mass shooting. I just didn't. Can't say that now you don't think about that stuff. You just can't. And it's sad. I hope that somehow, some way, we get past all this stuff. And I hate to say this, but you know, when we used to watch the Middle East with the terrorists, with the bombs, you know, they'd go in a place and blow up stuff and kill people all over the place. I can't help but think that if you're on the outside watching us, that you look at us the way we used to look at the Middle East and say that those were crazy people. Feels like it's the same to me. And I'm sorry if I've turned anybody off from the channel and everything else, but this is crazy. This is just crazy. There's fireworks going on. Did my live stream tonight, and that was great because I didn't realize that Philip Ebar called in, and he was forgetting that it's 4th of July and didn't know I was doing a live stream, and so I kind of said, hey, You want to come on and talk to everybody while you're here? And it was nice having him on the conversation and stuff. And I learned a few things. You know, Philip, and I'll break it down. Philip is still pissed off about that 49er game. And, you know, he broke it down into what the officials were doing in there and so on. And he truly is pissed off about it. And he definitely says it was officials. And him being an official himself understands it more so than I do, not having been an official. You know, broke it down really good. And I say watch it because you'll learn quite a bit. But I learned something about Dak Prescott tonight. See, I always like to think that I don't ever want to be the guy in a bar that blames things that I didn't achieve on somebody else. That I was being held back, or, you know, it was this guy that stole it from me. That I want to do everything that I can to say I gave my all. Because, see, I believe you don't fail, you only give up. Now, that's my personal thing. I'm not that bright. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I didn't finish the JMU and got my degree. But I will work my ass off to try and succeed. And I'm either going to get what I want or I'm going to die trying. And thus far, I'm still alive and kicking. And I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon. But then again, this day and age, it don't matter. I could go to the grocery store and end up being shot and killed. But when you look at the Cowboys season and think about the Cowboys leading the NFL in penalties, and looking at some of the calls, because let's be clear here, you can go through so many games where there were some bullshit ass calls. Go through and look at the game against the Raiders, where Derek Carr is falling to the ground and Micah Parsons literally touched his helmet. Slowing up. Micah Parsons is slowing up and not delivering a blow and barely touches the helmet. Unnecessary roughness, 15 yards. Boom. Moves it down the field 15 yards. Take a look at the Tampa Bay game where their linebacker is having a hissy fit on the field and taking off his helmet and throwing it to the ground. That's a 15-yard penalty. They didn't call it. Didn't call it. You think about, like, say, Jalen Ramsey, who curled Michael Gallup and is holding him, and somehow we get offensive pass interference. There's so many times that we had bullshit-ass calls against us. And as I'm watching, you know, and thinking about all the holding penalties that we got, you know, we had Tyler Badish with 9, and we had Connor Williams with 13, and Lyle Collins in 10 games with 9. That on other people, some of those calls that were made on those guys aren't made on other guys. Because I remember seeing in a Hail Mary before a half, a Green Bay game, Aaron Rodgers, that I'm watching his center holding and literally tackling a guy right in front of the official and doesn't get called. And so when you see these things, it would be real easy to say, you know what, the brothers screwed us. The officials screwed us. And it would be easy for Dak to say, you know, the damn NFL has got it against us. The referee screwed us. But that's not Dak Prescott. Dak has said, this is what Philip told us. I got to make sure that there's no doubt on the field. I got to make sure we're not in a position where they have the power to be the ones to stop us. I have to be better. I've got to overcome it. And see, that, my friends, is being a man. That, my friends, is a true side of a leader. Because you don't always have everything fall in place perfectly. Everything isn't real neat. And as they always say, you know, When you got money, you got lots of friends, but when you don't, they don't come around. And that's the truth in everything. It's easy to be successful when everything is right there and all you got to go is X, Y, Z, boom, and it's done. But when the shit's all jumbled up and it's difficult, that's when the real players come out. And hearing that from Philip, that shows me that Dak truly is a leader. And Dak is on a mission this year. Make no mistake about it. Philip said he's heavier than he's been, but he's also as lean as he's ever been. Now, it's all muscle. There's not an ounce of fat on him. That he has been able to work his ass off with his players. And that's going to be huge going into the season. Last year, it was worrying about, can we keep this ankle still attached? The year before, it was COVID. But now let's see what we do when we have a full off season. I'm excited. And I'm tired. We got a bunch of things that are going out. I love weed. Your piece is going out. A new channel member. Your shot glasses are going out. The lady that ordered the family portrait, that's going out tomorrow. My man who ordered the card rack, that's going out tomorrow. And if Mark Hupton sends me his address tonight, your Nat Win piece will go out. Johnny boy, I don't know what team you are, but if you send me what you want me to print for you, it ain't going out tonight because I got to make it. But it'll come out by the end of the week. So, I'm going to end this video and say, like I always do, and unfortunately, there's no truer statement in this day and age. Tell the people you love. You love them. Because sadly, you might not get the chance again. And I mean that. I love y'all people. I appreciate you. And God willing, I'll see you tomorrow. Be safe out there.